Hey guys, it's Joe. Welcome back to my guides for the rares of the Mr. Pandaria beta. This time around we're going to be looking specifically at the Jade Forest, which recently reopened. Keep in mind, in this video we're only going to be looking at their locations and what they drop. The achievements and abilities of these races are all covered in the Valley of the Four Winds video, which I'll place here in an annotation. At this point in the beta, this zone is very unique in that the rares do not drop vanity or trinket items as much as they do gear. Item level 420 purple epics, to be precise. First up, we're going to look at a very unusual case in that it's a race we haven't covered before and technically isn't a rare because it doesn't have a silver dragon around its name. His name is Martar the NotSoSmart, and you can find him wandering around a field just north of the Arboretum. This guy happens to be the only one that doesn't drop gear. As you can see, he's a gnoll. I have no idea what he's doing out here. Maybe there's a storyline to him or something. He really has no abilities that I could see except for the gun that he uses. Now, this guy does not replace any of the races in this zone that we are aware of before. All 8 of the other ones are still in this zone. This is an additional one that makes it the 9th. Alright, let's skip ahead and see what he drops. Alright, let's loot this bugger and see what we got here. And it's a steamy romance novel. Hot and misty. What? Are you kidding me? An elite dropping a gray item? Now, I didn't feel like that was right, so I did a little research, and that's not what he's supposed to drop. So I came back a little later to try again. This time I brought my priest friend Cloudy along, and boom, there he drops what he was supposed to drop in the first place. Martyr's Magnifying Glass. Now this is similar to the other things we've seen so far. It's a trinket, and it summons Martar the Not-So-Smart to fight, adventure, and frolic with you for 10 minutes. Just like my other videos, we're going to put that to the test at the end. I'm sure he's going to fight, but I want to see this frolicking thing for myself. Alright, further south in the Arboretum, we're going to see Ferdinand. He's a young gull, and as you can see on the map, there's 3 different places where he can spawn. He basically just sits by a tree, and apparently waits to be killed and looted. Speaking of, let's do that now. And okay, take a look, and he has the 420 eye level epic purple Ook Breaker Mace, 250 strength, 387 stam, increases critical strike rating by 185, increases your haste by 151. That's not bad. Alright, moving on, just south of the Temple of the Jade Serpent, we have Yorobi the Walker, a Pandaren under a pagoda. I definitely sense a pattern here. Just have to point out this is the first male Pandaren we've run into in these rares. The other ones have all been female. Alright, so he drops the Pathwalker Great Staff. 603 agility, 904 stamina, increases hit rating by 343, and increases your critical strike rating by 437. The feral side of me likes this very much. Alright, now we move down south along the coast to a cave where we can find the Great Sarnak. That joke's probably way too old for most of you. Alright, and dead. Alright, let's take a look and see what this guy has. Fish Sticker Longbow of the Earthshaker. Okay, that's one of those random flavor type items of the Earthshaker. Alright, that's not gonna work, because the strength classes, they don't use ranged weapons anymore. They don't even have a ranged slot anymore in Mist, so I think we have enough evidence here to prove that that's probably not going to be the way it is. That random enchantment thing's not right either, so in my opinion, they just need to revamp this and make it a straight hunter weapon and just call it a day. Alright, now we swing northwest to Kor'nas Night Savage. He walks the path in the middle of the Nectar Breeze Orchard there. Alright, get down, sucker! And let's see what he's got. He's got the Dark Staff of Annihilation. I like that name already. 904 stam, 603 intellect, increases hit rating by 408, increases critical strike rating by 392, and it has a nifty little eyeball in it. I always like the gear that has an eyeball in it, but I must admit it's a little disconcerting that my staff would be staring back at me. Wait a sec. Wow, that doesn't sound good, does it? Take that as you will. Moving on. Anyway, moving up north, we've got Cracksik. He's a mantid on top of a hill who actually starts out stealth, so keep your eye out for him. Maybe he'll drop some epic bug spray, but no. Instead, we get the Needlefang Throat Ripper. That sounds pleasant. 258 agility, 387 stam, increases your hit rating by 151, increases your critical strike by 185. I definitely know some of my alts that could get use out of that one. Alright, still making our way up north, we run into Aethys. He's a Jinyu who's just kind of hanging out by a little pond over there. Alrighty then. Loot him and we have the Pool Stirrer. It is 387 stam, 250 intellect, 147 spirit, increases spell power by 3,451. Wow, increases your mastery up to 187. Yeah, I'll be hunting that one down for my druid once this thing releases. I really like the model too. You could tell that's something that would drop off of a Jinyu. Alright, our next to the last stop is Mr. Ferocious. He's a hosen hanging out by the trees just northwest of Dawn's Blossom. After we get done spanking the monkey, we find that it has the exact same mace as Ferdinand did earlier. The only thing I can conclude is that maybe this isn't completely set in stone yet. I certainly hope not. Having the same weapon drop off of two different rares really doesn't make much sense, so let's hope they fix that. Last stop for Jade Forest is up north. His name is Morgrin Crackfang, the Mogu Warrior. You can see he has several spawn points, but that's why they make NPC scan. Alright, let's check this sucker and see what he's got. And it is a two-handed mace this time, 603 strength, 904 stam, increases your critical strike rating by 305, increases your expertise by 458. Now, that model looks interesting. I can't tell for sure if that is a Shadowpan logo. It looks like it, but not really. Like, the eyes shouldn't necessarily be there like that, so can't confirm that, but I do like it. Alright, guys, there's our first look at the Jade Forest rares. Now, I have to say, this has been an odd experience in that they did just drop gear. They didn't have a lot of fun items. Now, I will show you here in a second the Martyr's magnifying glass, but I have to say, I was surprised this whole zone dropped epic gear for level 85s, no less. So, again, they're rare, so it's not like they're going to be dropping in people's laps. And they will be replaced with heroic gear later on down the road. So I guess they're trying to mix up the fun with the practical along the way here in these drops. So, with all that said, let's go take a look at that magnifying glass and see what we can do with that. Alright, as you can see, I had already had him engage this wolf, and he's hitting about between 4 and 5k, which is okay, but compared to the warrior and the puppies, it doesn't even compare. Plus, he just stands there from ranged and shoots and doesn't tank or anything like the warrior does. And yes, he can adventure with me, it's walk around with me, and he can frolic with me, walk around with me, because that's all he does. So, he certainly doesn't compare to the warrior and the puppies by any stretch. That being the case, I was disappointed I wasn't going to be able to bring you a lot of demonstrations of what the items do this time. So, instead, I thought I would give you guys this. There you go, ladies and gentlemen, Seabass, the Destroyer, and the boys taking out Kor'nas, stepping up their game with a boss that had 1.6 million health. Unfortunately, we did lose the boys again, but they still succeeded. Alright guys, as always, thank you so much for checking out the guide and enjoying and in some cases pretty much just humoring me on my silliness. There are the other guides available. I will put them here on the screen. Please click on them. Please go to them if you have not seen them. They are decent, I guess. Anyway, thanks guys. Do appreciate it as always. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will keep doing what I'm doing. Alright, thanks guys. Take care of yourselves.